Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Tara, and we are going to talk about the Twilight Zone Season 1, Episode 21. It's called Mirror Image. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, this episode is about a character named Millicent, the character that Rod Serling was claiming last week that it was going to prove that he could write a women character, that he could write a strong female character, because he assured us that he wanted to disprove those claims. So here we are. But a woman went to a bus stop. Well, not a bus stop, it's a bus station. And she's waiting for this bus to another city, and weird things start to happen. She notices her case seems to be there or not there, depending on the moment. She's hearing from people who work there that they've already spoken to her about certain things, and ultimately the episode's about the possibility that there's a second version of her around, repeating some of the actions and making her go kind of crazy because she's like not sure what's going on. So Tara, did you enjoy Mirror Image?
Yes, I did. I thought it was a pretty decent episode. I don't know if Rod Serling is successful at writing a female character that much. There is a moment where she has to faint, which is kind of tropey. And lay down on a bench for a while.
Yeah, so see if you grew up watching movies from like before the 70s, like you have this weird opinion that women just faint like all the time for almost no reason. Yeah. It's just like, oh my god,
my stars.
Oh, the Beatles are on stage. Oh, which it was weird for me to like bring that claim up when this was the episode that was coming up, because ultimately the character only really serves to be like going crazy, right? She's just kind of going crazy because she thinks she's seeing things, and it's not that it's
nothing to do with her being a woman.
Yeah, there's nothing poorly written about it necessarily, but it's not like let's say you're writing a scene in a horror movie, right? You're writing a scene where the serial killer Michael Myers is stalking the girl, right? And it's just a short movie. You're just doing one stalking scene, and it can be a very good short movie because it's a really well shot. It's tense, it's scary. But the writer, they're not proving they can write a strong female character. It's just the victim happens to be female. There's nothing proving or disproving that ability. It's different, of course, in a film like Halloween, say, where there's actually like a whole plot with Laurie, and you kind of get to know her and what type of character she is, and so on and so on. So that's like this is not written poorly. There's nothing wrong with how he writes.
No, it's a fine character, but I don't think it stands out as like, yes, you can write women, Rod Serling. Like, clearly, you could just write a compelling story.
Yeah, that's basically it. There's nothing about this character that needed to be a woman. Like, you could have. I mean, I'm glad it is, because I think, as we pointed out last episode, like we've had like two.
We haven't had that many.
In like
the
20
Hitchhiker
episodes.
And like 16mm Shrine. I think that's really it. Where it's like that leading role.
Credit, and actually I think both of those are actually better examples of the characters actually, like, it's an important part of the character that they're women. I think 16mm Shrine is about
especially that one.
The loss of beauty, and then maybe to a lesser extent, but I think the fear of the predicament that the character's in Hitchhiker does feel a bit more potent.
Yeah, I think so too,
because it's a female character
being like stalked by a man, and then her having to like basically, like, there was one moment where she had to like go to a man in uniform and basically seduce him into like driving with her, so that she felt safe. And it's about a woman traveling alone. Like, I think that is like more so, but I don't remember if that one was written by Rod Serling either.
Oh, I don't remember who wrote those episodes specifically, but just the point that both of those are actually like, no, these are female protagonists, and they're supposed to be, and it's important to the story because part of what the themes of what we're doing is about how the experience is unique to them and what they're going through. Whereas this episode, you could swap this out for a guy and it would make a blind bit of difference. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they go pretty quickly to crazy because she's a female, and like the guy who's like behind the counter the whole time is just like crazy women. Like the way he talks about her is pretty degrading.
Yeah, I suppose in a weird way you could almost argue that if there is something mildly sexist about the episode, it's that even though we are seeing she's seeing things and we're with her along for the ride and we know that stuff's going on, it's almost like to the other characters, no one really believes anything's happening until it happens to the man at the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it's like, oh, now we can believe it because the man's experienced
Well,
it.
still, it's just him that believes it. Like we don't
True.
see the guy behind the counter who's been like a dick the whole time. We don't see him like accept it now,
I
or
guess
even
what
the
I'm,
woman who was in the restroom.
I guess what I'm proposing is like, are the audience meant to speculate if it's real or not until the ending when it happens to him as well?
Yeah. Well, now it's a pattern. So
Yeah. So, and again, I'm not saying it actually has sex. I'm just saying if I'm really digging for it and looking at like how it's used in a cynical way.
yeah, I mean, you can find that anywhere though, because if it happened at the end to the woman who was in the restroom, we would have also been like, okay, yeah, so this is a real thing. That it's not just in her mind.
Sure, no, that's true. That's true. So yeah, the episode slowly builds from the start with like her case moves. She goes up and asks like how long till the bus, or because the bus is already late, it's like 30 minutes late already, and she asks, when is it due, when's it coming, and he gets really short tempered with her and reveals that you've already asked this like 15 minutes ago, like calm down. And she's like, I did no such thing. What are you talking about? Like, what are we doing here? It's like, come on. And of course, the big moment in the first half of the episode is when she's in the bathroom. And again, the woman in the bathroom insists that she's already been there, in the last few minutes. And the bathroom door opens and she looks in the reflection and she sees herself sitting still on the bench in the waiting area. And that's kind of the big sort of like, no, because I think, obviously, knowing the title of the episode, reading the description last week, and obviously we talked about how Us, the recent film from Jordan Peele, took some stuff from this episode. Obviously, I was already thinking this anyway, but I think if you're viewing this completely cold in 1960, this is the moment where it really is like, okay, no, the idea is that there's a duplicate of her. I think up until this point, you're maybe like, well, what's going on? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, and they try to explain it later on, and I don't know if I really needed an explanation as to why there was a double of her.
Do you know, I'm
Because I think
actually...
the situation and the paranoia would be enough.
I'm going to defend the explanation here, or the reason for the explanation, because I think the explanation itself is pretty solid, but I'm going to defend the reason for having it, because that's what you're disputing here, because the one thing that was occurring to me before they got to the explanation that I was kind of poking holes in a little bit is, why are they never, like, encountering each other? Well, like, they're supposed to be just missing each other by a minute, and they're just in this one, like, room with a bathroom, and, like, like, why is it like she's fading in and out of existence kind of thing?
Right.
And the explanation they give, that where she theorizes, which admittedly it's kind of just this random, I read an article once about this, I wonder if it's this. But
yeah.
But she theorizes that there's alternate worlds, the idea of a parallel Earth, and there's like you've got a counterpart in that Earth, and it's like the counterparts try to take over her life. And that would maybe suggest why she is just kind of popping in and out of existence, because it's kind of like, you could almost argue that the one we're following is also going back and forth between the worlds, and we're just not aware of it because everything else is the same.
Sure. Like there's something about this bus station that's like a portal.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And and you can tell that the other person is like the malicious one, because when the one that she sees in the reflection has a beard, so you know that she's
Okay, before
you know which one to root for.
Yeah, okay, before I even get to your forced Star Trek reference about the middle world, right? Or the middle universe, sorry, if I misspoke. Can I just say the malicious one, the malicious Millicent? Can we just acknowledge the name there in that context?
Good. Is that alliteration or onomatopoeia?
That's alliteration.
Okay.
Onomatopoeia is when a word sounds like it's spelled, if that makes sense. Like,
oh, you're right.
Like moo. That's onomatopoeia.
Thank you. It's been a long time.
Until someone corrects me in the comments and tells me I'm full of shit, but I'm fairly confident that that's what onomatopoeia is. Yeah, no, like, because she's got like a kind of an evil smile though when we see her, because the end of the first half of the episode is that the bus is finally here, and she's going to get on the bus, and it's like, oh well, okay, episode over. Okay, what's wrong? But she freaks out because she sees herself sitting in the bus. So it's this counterpart that's going off to her new job, her new life, This other version's like Escape from Another World, and
Yeah.
but by this point she's met this guy that she's talking to, Paul, I think his name was, where she's kind of freaking out a little bit, and he's like just kind of talking to her, trying to help her, and be friendly and ask her what her concerns are, because she's kind of acting weird and freaking out. Telling his story about how he was supposed to be in another city by tonight, but his flight got cancelled. He had to get a car over here, but then he had to walk half the distance, and it's the whole thing.
Yeah, he just seems like a nice stranger who's probably attracted to her, just having a conversation.
Yeah.
While they wait for the bus,
But that's the end of the first half. Is so she's on the bus. So it's kind of confirmed that this is what's going on. And obviously he just thinks he's freaking out, and he's nice enough though to stick around. He's like, well, I'm already late anyway. It doesn't really matter if it's a few more hours. He's kind of concerned for her, so he stays at the bus station. Some of the lights go out because it's getting late. What was it? If it's not in use, turn off the juice. That's what the guy who worked there said.
That like kind of sticks out, right?
Yeah.
Did you agree to drop your linen?
He's so grumpy and like short-tempered the whole time, except this one part where he's explaining like his philosophy on electricity saving, and then he gets really peppy and really goes for it. So this is where she like gives her theory about alternate worlds and a counterpart and all the rest of it, and she does this for quite a bit, and ultimately Paul gets up, comes over to the guy at the desk, and is like, I think she's lost it, because the guy's also heard some of this. He's overheard it. He's like, yeah, other worlds. What's she talking about?
What the hell is she talking about? Like,
crazy women? What? Delusional? Like,
must be on her period or something.
He may as well have said that. Let's be honest. Like it was very much in the subtext. Anyway, so he's like, yeah. I think, to be fair, like so the old guy's kind of being like, crazy woman, right? Whereas Paul's a bit more like understanding, but he's like, I think she actually is seriously needing help. Like I think we need to call like the police. Although I did think it was weird though when the police show up. Yeah, because he says, let's go outside. The police don't even say anything to her or talk to her. They just grab her like she's escaped
from... There's no Miranda rights.
Yeah. They just
grab
like,
her. Crazy woman, let's get her.
Yeah, like it's like she's an escaped mental patient, and they've just like, caught up to her. They'll just grab her. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So, Paul's left on his own, and he's like, I feel bad about that. I hope it works out. I hope she's okay. And he's going to go for a nap. I do think there's a shot here that comes up where it really telegraphs that his case is going to move, because he sort of moves it.
Yeah, they really focus on the case.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I got it, director. I got what's coming. And sure enough, his case moves, and he's like, he thinks someone stole it, and he
They do it in one shot though, which is kind of like cool for the episode. I was expecting like it to cut and then come back and it was gone, but they did it in one shot.
Yeah. No, I agree. Huh. No, because he does this thing where he takes a drink at the water fountain, and he's sort of covering it with his body, and then when he stands up straight, it reveals that it's
missing. Not totally covered, so somebody like had to like go in and like carefully take it out and not be seen like above his back or anything like that. So pull
it with a string.
I mean, that was kind of well done. I thought.
You pull it with a string though, right? I mean, you didn't have to actually sneak in and take it.
Good. Yeah. I don't know if it'd be difficult to be silent. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's silent.
I don't know how boom mics work and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, no, but see in movies and TV, other than dialogue, everything's added in later. So as long as there's no dialogue, they can be as noisy as they want on set.
All right.
It's not uncommon for a director to be yelling out directions during a scene, like if there's no dialogue. To give the actors cues and things like that. So that sounds not an issue. So the
strings.
he runs out thinking that someone stole it. He gets a glimpse of a guy in a suit, which he's also wearing a suit, of course, and he's chasing him. And there's this it is a little bit clunky looking because it's 1960 technology to do it, but where it's clearly two shots like put together of like him chasing himself. And he sees his face, like the guy looks back at him, and he realizes who it is, and it's just this moment of shock that we end the episode on, where he's like, wait, she was right. That's another version of me.
Although when he's chasing him, he just kind of stops running, and he's still watching them, and he's like, where'd you go? He was right there.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
how'd you lose him?
he has to stand there and be confused so that Rod Serling can narrate the outro.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
thought
reason
that's
for
kind of
it.
funny.
Yeah.
But I like that the both times that you see the doppelgangers of the other people, they're always like smiling maliciously,
Mm.
like this is like a sinister thing. I'm taking over your life now. You could really see the influence of the movie Us.
You can definitely see it. I do kind of. If I have a complaint about the episode, my real complaint would be that I don't necessarily think it has maybe or it goes far enough and has as much of a resolution. I think I would have really liked to have seen a scene of one of them speaking to the doppelganger. I think that might have been like the natural big climax to have.
Yeah, maybe they wouldn't have been able to do it at the time. I thought there was going to be like a Gollum moment, like a Lord of the Rings thing in the mirror where she would be like normal talking into the mirror when you saw her, and then when you go to the mirror you see her and she'd be like this evil version of her talking back or something. But that didn't happen either.
No, I think it's not like I don't think it's like the best thought out episode. I don't think it's it's been redrafted and like taken to a point where it's this perfect exploration of what it's doing. But I do like it as a very inventive episode of like just exploring the idea a little bit.
You could see a lot of, I mean, it's not just the movie Us that was influenced. Like, I really did see some Mirror Mirror from the hit television show Star Trek, the original series. I almost said The Next Generation. They never did a mirror episode. Sorry to disappoint you if you were hoping for one.
Yeah, so the original series then.
The original series, yeah.
Yeah.
Although they did it a lot in Deep Space Nine and also Enterprise and, of course, Discovery.
But Cisco already has facial hair. How did they make that work?
Not in seasons 1 through 3.
Oh, did they swap? Is that a big twist in the show that Cisco from like season 4 onwards is actually Mirror Universe Cisco?
My lips are sealed.
How do you show they're evil when the good versions already have a beard?
Cisco is not all good.
Oh. Yeah. For those of you who don't know,
my favorite.
I'm working through Star Trek with Connor. We review that like this show.
It took you forever to get to Deep Space Nine, and it's the best one.
We'll get there. We'll get there. This is a years long endeavor. The Star Trek journey we're on.
You gotta pick up the pace though, so that you can caught up for Picard.
There's no way in hell we're finishing Next Gen before Picard starts. No way in hell.
I could do
it. We could
literally have like 2 things I'm supposed to watch every week. I could definitely do it.
You could. Oh yeah, but we have to record reviews after each episode.
I know.
Oh dear.
You know what else I thought about? I thought a lot about the show Fringe watching this.
Oh yeah, I love Fringe.
Fringe had a whole lot of like evil doppelgangers also from parallel universes. Like her explanation of it, I was like, oh, it's kind of like the plot of Fringe.
Yeah, it's actually there's a location in Fringe. It's kind of like this bus station theoretically, where there's kind of a bridge to another world. Also, I do like the subtle idea of like making a transportation hub. This bridge to another, like, because it's it's transportation in and of itself.
Right.
So that's a neat little touch. Like, someone departed on another universe.
You're stuck, not able to get to your destination because somebody has taken it from you.
Yeah, someone's taking.
And now you're lost at a bus station with nowhere to go.
Yeah, I feel like if you were redoing this now, like maybe one of the things that you would do is that you would realize you've swapped over. So the ending might be her realizing she's swapped into where the other person came from. Like maybe all the other characters start being. Yeah,
sort of went into that whole thing like if somebody's taken over my life, then what happens to me? But it doesn't really get explored. But that's like where her paranoia and fear comes from. Like when she's sitting down silently, like in her own thoughts, you're kind of like. She's probably mulling over that right now. Like, what the hell's going to happen to me now if she's on that bus?
Yeah, I mean, because I was almost expecting the ending to be like all the other characters in the station started smelling at her really evil, like she's now in the evil world, kind of thing.
That would have been really sinister.
Yeah, I don't know. So I like the episode quite a bit. I do think it could have went further with what it was doing, but I do like what it does. So
yeah, I like it too. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty it's very good at getting that atmosphere or that tone that Twilight Zone is known for. And you can see how something like this is just a cool idea that inspired lots of other science fiction.
Yeah, and I think a lot of things that inspired are better than it. but that's okay. Like,
That's okay.
yeah, they took the idea and they did bigger, better things with it.
Yeah.
Um,
I love Us. I thought that movie was great. So
I liked Us a lot. I'm not. I love it yet. I might love it more in a second viewing.
I think it holds up on a second viewing.
But you mentioned
Really well.
Fringe though, and Fringe is like one of my top 10 shows. I love
Yeah, I love
Fringe.
that show too.
If we're talking alternate universes, Fringe is the first thing that comes to mind in my favorite example of an alternate universe
Yeah, John
story.
Noble's the best.
Oh, yeah, Walter and Walternate, Olivia and
Yeah,
faux Olivia. It's great.
so good.
All right. That has been episode 21. This has been Mirror Image at Twilight Zone. Next time, though, Rod Serling did come out and he was teasing a very famous episode, which is The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. So,
Yeah, you can tell he knows that this is going to be a good one.
yeah, the description on IMDb, for those who don't know, and are going through this for the first time with us, which obviously we love, on a peaceful suburban street, strange occurrences and mysterious people stoke the residents' paranoia to a disastrous intensity. So, pretty pumped. Big episode, big episode.
Don't chicken out.
Don't check it out. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Rod. Thanks for that warning.
I know, it was so weird.
I was going to say this is the biggest one we've done yet. I don't necessarily think that's true, though. I think Time Enough at Last is actually a
I
bit
think
bigger.
Time Enough at Last is more famous.
Yeah.
Like that's the one that gets spoofed all the time, and I think that one's really well known.
Yeah, this is probably the
I
second
don't know if
biggest.
that one is better than this one. I can't really remember, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I can't remember either, so we will find out. We will find out how Maple Street goes next week. So, thank you for joining us, and let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Tara, what else can they do to support us?
Well, you could check out our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/MilefuzzTV. You could donate as little as $1 a month, and that dollar gets you our episodes of The Twilight Zone a week early, so you can get extra caught up.
Yeah, absolutely. You also get bonuses and other stuff from other shows and all that stuff. So yeah, you can also send in questions about future episodes or episodes we've already talked about to an email address, can't they, Tara?
They sure can. That address is mf something something at gmail.com.
mftvquestions@gmail.com. Just remember to put in the subject box what the show and episode you're going to ask a question about is, or want to bring up a point that you want us to discuss. We won't necessarily get to all of them, but we'll pick some interesting ones out from time to time and talk about them. And that goes for all the shows we do. You just have to put the show that we're doing in the box and send it off. Obviously, you can get us on Twitter at @mailed_fuzz for channel updates. But that's us. So, check out other content we do. Yeah, promote other stuff. Tara, promote something.
Well, we mentioned Star Trek. You and Connor are going through the Star Trek Next Generation right now. You're on season 2. You can check those out.
Yeah.
As far as stuff that you and I do, we do a science fiction movie podcast every week. It's called The Ace, the Atomic Cinema Experiment. Those are really fun. We tend to go a long time on those stuff. So, make sure you put 2 hours aside.
Yeah, I like a long podcast. But
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah.
So yeah, if you like the 25-minute portion of us and you want more, yes, there's like a 90 minute to 2 hour version of it every week as well, talking about a movie. So that is us though. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys, in the Twilight Zone.